Trans men are finding the pro-male collective and speaking up against feminism, which is good. There are two types of F2Ms. Those who want to have it both ways, being accepted as men while spreading feminist talking points and keeping female privilege, and those who speak up honestly against misandry. They will be kicked out from the feminist LGBT and are much more rare. Obviously, the one I'm sharing with you today, in the form of a discussion from our forum, is among the second type. Let's start. I am transgender F2M. I'm a transgender male. I was raised as girl, expressing constant discomfort throughout childhood and early puberty at my lack of male anatomy. I've decided my dysphoria is probably a neurological issue and not at all a social one. What I experienced was not a product of culture. I wish I was not this way. Anyway, I socially transitioned in my early teens and physically transitioned soon after. I'm in my early 20s now, and only people who've been friends with me since middle school know about my condition. Functionally, on a day-to-day basis, I am a cisgender male. I have not been mistaken as female by even strangers in over 5 years, and I am happiest this way. Being treated as male didn't start when I came out. Being openly F2M is socially being female, and the experience didn't start until nobody in my life knew. And you know what I can say? Men have it fucking worse. So much shit I took for granted stemmed from being perceived as a woman. Compliments? Nah. Emotional support? Nah. Community? Men are evil, why would you hang out with them? I've gone from having social support no matter what to going years without hugs and remembering every compliment I get. I've always been nice, but suddenly this guy just want to fuck because all men are the same. Feminists and other non-passing, non-male socialized, socially women, and other trans people tried to convince me I shouldn't be friends with men. They tried to convince me men oppress, men rape, and are inherently a core evil. But now that I live and breathe as male, with almost exclusively male friends, misogyny is a concept made up to make men feel worse about ourselves. They call us evil and call for our suicide, and turn around and say men cannot have problems. I reject how half of the population being told to die for the uncontrollable way in which we were born. I reject how I can't have problems because I'm an evil oppressor. I reject how society refuses to acknowledge women as the real ruling class. So I reject feminism. Fuck that, and fuck how it's affected me and my homies. Misandry is constantly normalized. My post doesn't even go into how they treat male victims of abuse or rape. You probably wanted it. Shit, you'd get cancelled for saying to a woman. The default attitude of a feminist society is that men deserve to be mistreated or even killed, cheering on abusing men as punishment for daring to be male, encouraging women to oppress more and more, and praying for our suicide rates to skyrocket. It is not misogynistic to call for attention toward the mistreatment of men. I hope I can find community here from like-minded men who gain insight from my experience. I acknowledge I don't have it as bad as you all, since I got female privilege when I was a child and young teen. So this was the post. I'm really glad to see the pro-male ideology reaching new people, and seeing them step away from the hate movement. There is just a couple of corrections that I'd like to make. The first one, the concept of misogyny is way more than a tool used to instill guilt in men. It's actually a weapon to silence any criticism to feminism. But the second one, in the pro-male collective, we are rejecting the feminist framing completely, and that includes the term cisgender, which is just used as a slur. Its very etymology is dubious. Something like staying in the same gender. Just say that you are not perceived as trans is the simplest thing. I'll end it here. Thank you for listening.